first one. What's my R value? Why? Because it's attached to the exponent. Is that an acceptable R value? Why not? It's outside the range, right? Yep. It's outside the range. So, what's the answer? No sum exists. Second one, R value. 1/5. Acceptable. Yep, in our range. Okay. First term. I've heard -5 and I've heard -1. -1? I see a lot more people agreeing with -1. Do you know why it's -1 and not -5? Okay? Because you got to plug in that bottom number, right?
Oh, okay.
Right? So 1/5 to the first power is 1/5. Times -5 is -1. So -1 there. Okay. Our sum formula from yesterday was our first term divided by 1 minus our R value. Oops, excuse me, our first term was -1. 1 minus 1/5 is 4/5. Flip and multiply. So we get the sum here, or I get the sum of -5/4. Agree? Yes? No? Just shaking your heads to, but that's what it should be. Right? Love it. So let's do a little applications of infinite geometric series. So for a particular pendulum, each swing is 90% of the distance of the previous swing. If the first swing travels along an arc that is 20 inches, so the first swing here travels along an arc and it went 20 inches. What does it swing on the way back? $18 inches, right? Because 90% of 20 is 18. What does it swing on the way back? $16.2, yeah, and so on and so forth, right? Is it swinging farther every single time? No. So eventually, it's going to stop, correct? Yeah? Okay. So in an infinite sequence, it would go until it stops, right? Yeah? So is this an acceptable infinite sequence? Let me write this out here. We got 20 on our first one. Then we had 18. Then we had 16.2. And that went on and on and on and on. So is this an acceptable infinite sequence? No? Why not, Eo? If we were in a vacuum, it would actually never stop. But we're, because we didn't factor in, air resistance. But technically, in a vacuum, that pendulum would never stop. Now, granted, to the naked eye, it would look like it stopped. But if you zoomed way in on it, it would still be moving just a little bit. Okay? So is it an acceptable infinite sequence? Yeah. What's our R value? 0.9. Yep, exactly. So find me the total distance that the ball of the pendulum moves in inches. Okay. Total distance, ball of the pendulum moves in inches. And just as a side note, your answer had better be bigger than 38, 48, 54.2. We also know that our first term is 20 because it came first. Yes? So the sum formula, infinite sum, would be my first term divided by 1 minus my R value. So that's going to be 20 divided by 0.1. And we should get here then that the pendulum swung 200 total inches. Agreed? $200 inches. A little less than 20 feet. Okay? Try that one, please. Give me the first 3 terms in this sequence. First one should be easy. 3.5 million. Love it. Next one. Blake. Yep. I had to figure out where the 8 was. Couldn't remember if it was 3,008,000 or 3,008,000. Okay. Next one. Blake. Love it. And so on and so forth, right? What is my R value? Here we go. 0.12. Do we agree with 0.12 as our R value? So what? So since it's going down, it would be 0.88 now. So we've got 0.12 as a choice. We've got 0.24 if you did 2 of them, right? And we've got 0.88. One of them is right, 2 of them are wrong. How do we find R? Term right before it, right? So we take any one of those 2, those right 2, and divide it by the one right before it. Okay? What do we get? 0.88. So what's our R value? 0.88. Okay. First term then would be 3.5 million. So then the sum would be my first term. One more. Divided by 1 minus 188, which is 2, 1, 2, 3. And I get whoa, that's great. Nine, 1, 6, 6, 6. 26 is the other 5.
It repeats.
It repeats, yeah, but because it's money, we got to round it to the cent. Right? 5 6s, 2.67. Yeah. Oops, and we can throw a little money action on there. Ching ching, bling bling. Cha-boom. Yeah. Yeah, love it. Golf ball dropped from a height of 9 feet. After each bounce, it rebounds to 68% of the previous height. Find me the total distance that that ball will travel. All right, so let's draw this out. So we dropped the ball 9 feet, right? How far back up does it bounce? 6.212 feet. Yep. Mm-hmm. Then what happens? Then it goes back down 6.12 feet. And it bounces back up. 8.16, something like that. Yeah. Somewhere in there. Okay, we'll call it that. Okay. Then it would bounce back down, bounce back up again, all that fun stuff, right? Okay. So what is the total distance here that it traveled in that first bounce? How much? In this first bounce? 15.12. Because it dropped 9 first, and it bounced back up 6.12. Love it. Yeah? What about the other one? Next one. 10.28. And so on and so forth, right? Okay. What's my R value? Because we got to find that first to see if we can actually do this one or not. What do you got? 0.68? You agree with me on R value of 0.68? What's my first term then? $15.12. Yeah. So then the sum, the total distance that the golf ball traveled, and remember what kind of ball we were using, is 15.12 divided by 1 minus 0.68, which is 15.12 divided by 0.32. 15.12 divided by 0.32 gets me, I got 47.25 feet. Convince me that I'm wrong. Can't do it because I'm right, right? Okay. Now, we'll go back to yours. You had it where you were doing two sums. You had it at either this one or this one. What do you get when you add those two numbers? Yep. Because what you did is you found the sum of the downs, so you found the sum of the blues up here, and you found the sum of the greens there. So you just had to add them together, and you would have had the answer. Because down plus up gets a whole distance. That's why I said you were really close.
I didn't think I was close at all.
No, you were really, you were one step away. But I didn't want to give it to you because I wanted you to discover. Okay. So, worksheet 26 should be pert near done by now. Okay? Because, I mean, the infinite sum ones don't take very long. Okay? So, that gold worksheet should be almost done by now. Please turn that in by Sunday night. Okay? You have a quiz that opened up 4 seconds ago. I set it to open at 10:30. So you have a quiz that's open. This is a little bit of a longer quiz. It's a 19-point quiz. Last week was only a 10-point quiz. This one's a 19-point quiz. There is some arithmetic stuff on this quiz. Okay? So it's not just infinite geometrics. It's not just geometrics. It's all three of them. It's arithmetic, geometric, and infinite geometric all on that quiz. Okay? And then, again, the end of the quarter is fastly approaching. It is next week, Friday. Okay? So if you don't like your current grade, do something about it. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to complain about the fact that there are, 98 missing homework assignments out there. I don't even know if it's 98. I really don't. I just kind of pulled that number out of thin air. Okay? Well, I'm not going to complain about it. If you don't like where you're at, you got to do something about it. And whether that's coming in for extra help, whether that's doing something, whether it's going back and fixing something, that's on you. That's 100% on you now at this point in time. I have given you enough time this quarter that you should have 0 missing assignments right now. Okay? You all should have received yesterday a grade report with it. At Homer's, I should have emailed you if there was an issue. If you were missing something, I emailed you yesterday, just so you know. Okay? So check your email, and that has your list of third quarter missing work on it. Okay? You have 25 minutes.